first, let me just say this is for educational purposes only. This is not a recommendation to buy or sell any futures contract. Just know that trading is risky, and you can lose all your money if you don't know what you're doing. Even when you know what you're doing, you can lose. You can lose. So there's always risk for loss in trading. So with that said, we're gonna dive into the quick analysis about this market here. Let's look at ES to start the day. A 30-minute chart here. ES looks like it's stopping off. Stopping out over here. But yesterday we had a nice recovery in the morning after the market opened. The first half an hour in the regular trading hours, we had a big bar, bearish bar, and then we recovered. We kind of hit that fair value gap here, bullish fair value gap. Now we really more like at resistance. To me, this market is not really clear. If I were to look at this, today could be one of those days that market ranges, especially with non-farm payroll coming tomorrow. There's a chance that we don't have much movement today. Even though when I say not movement is relative to what's been happening in April. April has been a crazy month. Already we almost at I think almost 45-point range on the ES for the day. So that's something we gotta keep in mind here. But definitely, I think for me, my bias would be to the downside at this point. This is looking like, unless we make a new high here, I think we're probably topping off here on ES. Look at NQ real quick. Probably same story here. I think here we grinded higher during the overnight session. But I think we might be, if we make a new high, that's something else. It's 9:25. We got 5 minutes to the open. Still, for me, ES is at another place where I would wanna sell. NQ is at a place where I would rather sell it than buy it. Now, if we make a new high and a pullback, then we can look at good morning to YouTube. Good morning to everybody that's watching. Thank you for being here. Like I said, one of the markets I've been looking at quite a bit is LE. Live cattle opens at 9:30, so we're not gonna get any data at the moment. But right now, things look like they're topping off as well. And also, we have news that some cattle from Mexico may be coming into the market. Not sure how the tariff's gonna affect that, but yesterday we saw in the morning, we went higher. As a matter of fact, yesterday I traded live cattle. I shorted live cattle. I was up for about 17 ticks, moved to break even, then it came back and tagged me out at break even. I was looking for 41 ticks for my target. I didn't get that. But right now, I think we're looking to trade live cattle to the downside. We can get back into this fair value gap here between 209.50 and 208.72. If we get there, we get a U-turn. We'll probably want to short live cattle today. We said we could trade crude oil. Let's look at crude oil real quick. Crude oil's been definitely in a downtrend. Yeah, we ran out of fair value gap here on crude oil. So, overnight we went down at 7 a.m. This morning we started turning around. I think here, once again, when you look at this range right here, it's definitely a range that, to me, that should be a resistance. There was a little support right here. We bounced up, went to this fair value gap created by this actual candle here from yesterday. Again, this is the 30-minute chart. I looked at that as my big picture chart for the day because we're just day trading, scalping. So, anything over that. While we need to keep in mind what's happening on the daily chart, that's important to keep in mind of what's happening on the daily chart, but it's not as relevant to what we're trying to do. So, with that said, I'm gonna go back to. Usually, lately, what I've been doing is really start my day with trading LE, which is live cattle, and then transition to ES if we have time. This is YM down here in the middle. This is the Dow. I guess we should look at the Dow as well. Probably same. Dow definitely looking more bearish than the other ones. Because already we got 2 bars, 2 30-minute bars. I don't think I had 2 30-minute bars on NQ, did I? Maybe I did. Yeah, I did. They usually work in tandem, all these 3, and including also the 4th. We're gonna include the 4th one, which is the RTY, which is the Russell. So right now we're looking to possibly short this market. It's 928. We're gonna be as you can see, this market's been in a nice uptrend over the last 3 weeks really. But I think we're topping right now at the moment. We got exactly to 211 on the dot. So our number, and they said, you know what, we're gonna push this thing down. I think we have room to move all the way down to 207 today. Let's see what happened. I don't use fib for my entries, but I use fib for context. If we look at the fib here on the live cattle, going toward 209.50 is definitely something we can see. If we open there, if we open and go higher, see we just open, so we just gapped up. We got all the way up here on live cattle from 208.50. We open up to almost 2 points on live cattle to a handle. So that's really big here, and there could be a chance here they're trying to close this gap. So let's look at that here. Typically, we like to take 5 minutes before we act. So let's see what live cattle is for the first 5 minutes here. That's a big gap up here. I mean, some people that probably went long down here or were long up here. Now they probably want to sell get out and bail out of the position. They say, you know what, I was down now. All of a sudden I break even. I want to probably gap down here. But again, we're ranging here. We're ranging. So live cattle here. ES on the top right. It's going lower at the moment. So let's see what happened. Where's my rectangle? There you go. So we got this little box here forming the first couple minutes. So let's see what happened in that little box. If we're gonna break it one way or the other. Again, before the market opened, I wanted to short cattle. So I think that's a good opportunity to short it here. But let's wait and see. Yes, it's definitely selling off. I'm sure NQ is doing the same. This is the bottom. Let's open a new tab here, and we're gonna put NQ in there. It's a nice sell off here on ES. A nice sell off here. So let's see what happened. So cattle. Let's see. Where are we? Cattle still ranging. I mean, we're below VWAP on cattle here. So let's see if we can pick a direction here. I think below this, below here, we probably favor a short. I mean, we already favored the short even before the market opened. Now with this, I think there's a good possibility they're gonna come back and try to close that gap. All right, cattle's pushing lower here. So let's see what we get. Today, because cattle's been kind of volatile like this, we'll probably just trade 2 contracts today, not 3. Usually we trade 3, but and that's another thing with cattle. You can trade a bigger size compared to like something like NQ, because you know you're gonna get it's less volatile, so you can trade bigger size. And then if you're trading multiple targets, usually I go all in, all out. So what we would like to see here is a pullback toward the VWAP, 35. If we can get a pullback toward 32, 30, 35 here, we may not get it. That's another thing with cattle. Sometimes you get pullbacks, and sometimes you may not get it. So right now we're looking to see, can we get a pullback toward the VWAP here? Or is it going to continue to go lower? Yes, it's still going lower here. And 30-minute ES, we did say, hey, we're trying to go lower. It's resistance zone. So also when you look at the fundamentals, they're not looking too good. Everything pointing to the downside. So all right, let's go back to the oh yeah, let me put NQ here. All right. Yeah. For cattle, we just need to pull back. We want to pull back toward the bottom of this range here, or even come back at some point in the range. Now, those lines you see here, they are support and resistance lines. So coming from above, they're gonna be used as serve as support, and come from below, they'll be resistance. So we definitely on 208.55 was basically my line in the sand. Anything above this really should be looking for longs. But because we gap up like this, the likelihood of him trying to fill the gap here is very, very high. Yes, is at the VWAP. They come back and test the zone again. I think they're probably gonna go higher, lower here again. If the selling pressure is there. All right, I think we may have missed an entry here on the. Maybe they're not coming back to get us in. Maybe that was a pullback. That little wick right there, that was the pullback on LE. Yeah. Yes, he's selling off again here. They're trying to bring it higher, but they keep hitting this resistance zone. And yes. Same thing here with if you're trading NQ. Yeah, NQ is below the VWAP. Looks like they're gonna be pushing it down here. Yeah, I'm gonna push this down. All right, I'm still hoping that we get a pullback here. Maybe get back up this way to 210. Get to 210 or and change and turn around. Let's see. So they get to the 50%. They filled the gap halfway so far. Will they fill it completely? That time will tell. But again, yes, still trying to sell off here. Yes, you definitely don't want to be attacked in the middle of this range here, but I think we may go higher here to go lower. Or is this it to go higher? Because right now the market internals are showing that hey, they want to go higher. So market internals are bullish. So to be careful with the short here on ES. Also, YM is turning to the upside. NQ is already turning to the upside as well. So, and this is at the moment bullish, trying to go higher, but hey, we may get that kind of action too. They went back to the VWAP and tested. Now they're selling off again. All right, so we're getting a pullback here on LE. We've been looking for one here. We've been looking for a pullback, so we're gonna probably go short down here at 209.85. If we can get to that 209.85 here. Let's see. 92.5 now. We're just looking for a negative bar here to go short. 97. All right, let's see. We're hitting the VWAP here on LE. Can we get there? Our stop would be at 210.50, which is right up there. We should expect that fight here because we had to pivot on ES and also the bulls they're trying to push this market higher here. They may get run over, but let's see. Let's move this up to 2.5. So yeah, we got exactly what we were trying to look for here on LE. We're looking for a pullback to the bottom of this range. So we got it. So I'm looking for 41 ticks here. Let's see. Okay. Let's see if we can actually go lower here. Now the Geiger counter is showing the selling pressure is intensifying. It's getting big. It's getting more than the buying pressure. That's why we got a red needle here. So let's see if LE here will pay out today. Yesterday we were right on the right side, but we came back and tagged us out of break even. So, and today being Thursday before non-farm payroll, it definitely may not be the best time to trade the indices because we have probably waiting to see what the number is gonna do tomorrow. And we got a plan. We're gonna be trading this plan here and see what and go from there. Hitting the VWAP here. This market looks like it wants to bounce. Like I said here, that was a dangerous place to go short. We had to pivot. The short was up here, about 45. It goes all the way down to it. So right now, this market trying to bounce higher. Talking about the indices. Well, in my emergency stop per se in LE here, I could give it maybe another 6 ticks because I'm not trading the max contract. I mean usually the 3 contracts I usually trade on that, so I can give it 6 more ticks here. I really could. Yeah, let me do that. So a new high I want to be out, but I think they're probably gonna just try to close this gap. If they do that, great. If not, it'll be a loss. And today, I think we're gonna keep this stream fairly short. We're not gonna trade too much here because we want to be cognizant of the fact that tomorrow is non-farm payroll. So we're not gonna see many. I don't think we're gonna see great setups today. It'll be more like, it'll be more like trying to set up for tomorrow. At least not looking too good at the moment. But again, we have a stop above the high of the day. So if they go there and tag us out, I'd say more power to them. But let's see how it goes here. Yeah, definitely here. We're looking at the indices trying to break to the upside. They trying to go NQ at the bottom here, middle, trying to go higher. ES wants to go higher. Let me look at ES on the bigger picture here. Yeah, breaking to the. All right, we had a resistance here again on the ES. It came back to that resistance, so I think um, now resistance are meant to be broken. I'm not saying that hey we should sell it here, but it's 9:49. I wonder if there's any 10 o'clock news. Let me find out if there's any 10 o'clock news here, because that could be a game changer here. Now, LE is looks like he wants to go lower now. Got in the middle of that box and I'm trying to turn around. At 10 o'clock we have ISM manufacturing, so it's definitely something that can move the market. You know, all those red. And tomorrow again at 8:30. We don't trade the news per se, but we'll keep an eye out, and we'll be back here tomorrow at 9 o'clock after the news because yeah, we don't want to mess with that. Let's look at next week while we have this up here. Monday we'll have some news. Tuesday no U.S. news. Wednesday. So okay, we got FOMC Wednesday. That'll be interesting, and we got the press conference too. So right now, ES trying to go higher. I definitely would. So close to the top of the hour now. So usually I don't like to close. I mean to trade at the top of the hour like this. 5-10 minutes before. I like to let it do its thing. The sellers are coming back in here. So on ES and NQ. Now NQ's at the VWAP. That could be a bounce point here. I think same ES is above the VWAP. This VWAP is the Globex VWAP that started at 6 p.m. last night, 6 p.m. Eastern. So here we're seeing some buying here. Yeah, advanced decline is going higher. So I think right now, I mean, since right around here, I say, hey, this market is bullish now because when you look at this solid green here, there's a little bit of selling, but as you can see, the buyers are overwhelming the sellers here. What they did, they came back and tagged some people short to go higher. So at the moment, we should probably try to buy the dips on the indices, because this is what just happened here. We were right 2 minutes or less than 2 minutes ago. We were at the VWAP basically, and we went higher we went from 955 to 995, about 40.80 ticks in about a minute on an NQ. You know how the NQ works, so the NQ definitely flies up. So it looks like it's a matter of time we make a new high for today. So let's see. In the meantime, OLE, doesn't move too fast. Sometimes it does move fast. Like yesterday, we had a nice sell off from, I think about it 12 o'clock, 11:30. And then by the time even then you had a chance to get into that move. Because this pullback here, when he pulled back a couple of bars and give you a negative bar, he definitely could have got in. At that time I was done trading, but so far LE is giving us what they usually do, their ranges a little bit, playing it on the VWAP here. Our bet is we're gonna make a no low and get to our target. That's what we're betting on here. But let's see what happens. All right, YouTube, if you're in any trade, let me know. Things are going for you. Because we mean this to be an interactive channel while I'm trading. You can always ask questions and let me know what you're looking at, because we can learn from each other. Trading is one of those things you will never say, you know what, I don't have to learn. I have nothing more to learn. And the minute you say that, the market is going to humble you. So I'm talking from experience. So that's definitely, you got to stay humble here with this market, or it will humble you. So right now, the way things are going here for ES, looks like we're trying to sell off again here in ES. Q is going lower too. Yeah, I think ES here at 56.40 could be a support zone that I'm looking at one of my other screens. Yeah, 56.40. It's one of those could be a place to try to buy ES here. Let's see here. We got 42, 43. Yeah, it may not make it there, because we're right at the VWAP here. The Globex VWAP, we're playing around here. I think we're pushing higher here now. Or could that be doesn't playing around the VWAP like that? So it's 9:56. Usually you don't want to be trading that time because they're setting up for the 10 o'clock move. And we got ISM manufacturing coming up to at 10. So that could be something they're doing here. I think we're pushing higher. We should be pushing higher from here. But they may do that after they go lower. Because like I said, 56.40, 56.38, that zone is on ES. Looks like it might be support. So let's wait and see. Let's go back to LE here and take a look. The sellers are definitely getting aggressive here on ES, but again, I'm not really trusting this sell. I'm looking at it from the fact they're setting up the move higher, but they may just plunge it too because we got news coming out. They may use the news as an excuse, as a cover to move it the way they want to. So let's wait and see. We got about 2 minutes. Yeah, 2 minutes and 7 seconds here for them to do what they want to do. think this is a setup for the news. They're probably gonna go lower here. They may even make a new low for the RTH session and then bring it higher. Or they may completely, it could be completely explode to the downside too. So, okay, I got about a minute and change left. Let's wait and see what happens here. All right. We're still in that kind of 2 to 4 point range here where they may bounce it. "17 minutes. Let's see. Can I put this news thing back up here? We're gonna reduce this as much as we can to see if we're gonna see the some manufacturing 23 seconds. 23 seconds here. Let me put this higher to cover Ellie. I can look at Ellie on this screen here on the left. All right, let's see. Yeah, they're pushing it down here. There you go. News came out. Well, it's like the market doesn't. Sometimes the market doesn't disappoint. That's what they did here. They got some people short. They got some people short the lows, and now they're pushing it higher. All right. Let me look at my market analyzer if I have the right data. Yeah, I got my data is going fine. 4 seconds behind here, but nothing too crazy. So it's catching up to the live data. Yeah, there you go. So they did what they always do. I mean, they have to get some sellers. If they want to move the market higher, think about it this way. If I want to move this market higher, I need people to sell to me. I need some sellers. So they got the sellers here. They went back down about 4 points. They got some sellers. And then if you sell them here, if you sell down here 31, they went back 18 points on you. You're already out. And then they bought from you. Now they're coming back your way. Maybe get more selling. And do some more selling here. So that's why the news, trying to avoid trading the news at all costs, because there's a lot of things that in trading as it is, there's a lot of things you can't control. But right now we're seeing this market here, the way they're moving it, most likely. And also look at what they did. They went to this fair value gap right here. That's a 9-minute fair value gap. That's what's forming the 9-minute. It's a bullish fair value gap. It's expected to be. Let's see when that was formed. I can't really tell because we're in the 2-minute. That's fine. But yeah, it's that's how they do. That's how they do it. So let me move this back up. To me, this market, if I were to be trading this, I'd probably try to go long here. Because that clearly tells me, hey, we were just kidding here. We're not trying to move this market lower. We just wanted to get some and do some selling so we can move it higher. And still, my internals are still pointing bullish too. Now we're getting a little bit, making a little headway here down to the downside here on LE, which is good. I think a no low here, we could try to move to break even, at least reduce our risk. As a matter of fact, we could reduce our risk right now and put it on top of this swing. So let me do it from here. Put on top of this swing. This little swing right here we have at 42. I think the high on this candle might be 37.5. So 2 ticks above that. I think we might be able to survive. I mean, at least reduce our risk considerably. So it'd be 18 ticks instead of right now we got about 26, 27. So that's about 42 half. You know, let's reduce it by 18 ticks, I believe, yeah. So now we got 18 ticks for a stop. Now we're going higher on the ES. And Q is about to break out here to the upside. We had a pivot, so be careful here. But another push up here, and Q might, yeah, another maybe above 920. Yeah, we're going lower now. That's why at this pivot here, I wouldn't be buying it. I'm just saying, hey, wait, that double pullback action is happening here. They went higher, got mini pullback. That they say, hey, let's go lower first, and now we're going higher again. So if you have like one of those trading tool that you can just put it where you can chase it, and when we get a positive bar, then we go higher, then you'd be in profit right now. You know, you enter about 9-10, over about 15 points, sorry. So definitely, this is the kind of game they play. Hey, you go long right here, and we're gonna make you pay because you buying too high. Come back, wait for us. We haven't decided. Now we are approaching the VWAP, which is at 48. All right, we are break even here on LE because we're up 20 ticks. So let's just sit back and wait if this market is gonna get us paid today or not. Honestly, we might be a one and done here if LE gets to target. I got to that VWAP again, and then we're getting some selling here. People taking the profit, people selling. But I think this momentum here, it's pretty crazy. They're probably gonna get run over here, but they might play around here for a little bit. Look at this big engulfing candle happening here, almost on ES. Again, put a buy order here at 32. Put your stop, maybe 10 point stop, because ES nowadays, I mean, you used to be able to get away with ES maybe 2 or 8 to 10 tick stop. Nowadays, you need at least 20, 25 point tick stop on ES to survive because the volatility is so high. And if you're going to be trading the news, definitely you want to get 10, 15 points. So that's why, that can be done. But trading micros in a situation like this is probably the better bet. Then you can still risk amount, stay within your risk tolerance and be able to trade those. All right, let's look at LE here. Looks like we're making new lows, so let's wait and see. Yeah, never fails. I mean, typically you're gonna get a reaction at the VWAP here, and that's why we're getting here in the NQ. The VWAP definitely serving as resistance here, and then they're just trying to sell it off. Now we're approaching a positive bar in NQ here. It's probably long for me. 907 at the moment would be long. Yeah, or 907. Yeah, it's 907, and your stop is below at 94. There you go. You're up 9 points here if you got in at 907. Yeah, there you go. Definitely at break even at this point. You know, you definitely at break even at least, and probably hit your first target because you were up 60 ticks. So then you come back and break even maybe in the second portion here. But we're trading early at the moment, so we're just doing commentary on the indices for now. But it looks like we're getting resistance here again. We got resistance. We're getting selling here on the indices. So I think we're still my bet here we're going higher on the indices unless we make a new low. If we make a new low on ES, if we go below 25, I think, then all bets are off. But I think we're prepping here to go higher. Because we're hitting a liquidity pool here on the 3 minute, which was at 38. So let's look and see what happened here. At least taking its time. So we're gonna let it take its time. Yeah, let's look at the order flow on LE here. What are we doing? Okay. Definitely some aggressive selling happening. And the previous bar, even in this bar here. And we finally get a cumulative delta that's negative. That's a sign that, hey, let me want to go lower here. Look at this delta, 216. It's 30%, 36% of the delta represents 36% of the volume here, which is pretty significant. The volume is 691, delta is at 253, minus 253, that means about 36% of the volume is the delta. I mean, overwhelming here. This candle is getting bearish, so that's 41% of it. That's even better. 40%. So I think we're on the right side here in LE. It's a matter of, okay, can we get to our target? We have a barrier right here at 209.15. 209.15 can be a barrier. If we were to get there, we'll lock in a few ticks. Could this be on the 3 minute on the ESC, if we get a bullish bar, that could be a time to think about taking an entry to the upside on the ES. But I would wait for a bullish bar on the 3 minute, which 2 more minutes, less than 2 minutes, we'll find out. Yeah, 10:15. We're gonna have a bar closing on ES. I feel like the bottom right. I'll look at ES from this perspective as well. Yeah, ES is bouncing higher here. Look at this. So. Yeah, to me, this was never a sell. Once we went down here, we took some people short and went higher. To me, that was a stop one to go higher. And then, obviously people sell here at this resistance, but to me, I mean, this was always going to be a long. And that's the thing with this market. You can make money both ways, either buying or selling. Just got to time it right. Like they say, bulls make money, bears make money, hogs get slaughtered. So just don't be a hog, Just hang on to your position. Don't get married to your position or your bias for too long. Because right now we got the POC for the day for ES, which is about 56.46. We should expect some back and forth here a little bit. But I think at this point it's with the POC and the value area high being so close to each other, meaning hey, we're getting a lot of most of the volume here is starting to trade on the top toward the top of the value area. So definitely getting some buyers are definitely trying to take control of this market. So let's go back to LE here. Up 17 ticks. Oh no, that's 17 ticks. I'm thinking I'm trading 3 contracts. Up 26 ticks, 27 ticks. So honestly, we should lock 10 ticks here, which is 25 from here would be 77.2. 77.5. So that's our 10 ticks. We got that locked in here. Today here, supposed to be pretty nice weather. So could be a day I go for a walk. It's 58 at the moment. So the high will be 70 toward the middle of the day. So once we pass 12 o'clock, we'll be in the mid 60s, and 3 p.m. we'll peak at 70. So be a good time for me to go out and enjoy the weather a little bit. Again, we have the value area high on ES. We should expect that. We should expect this kind of move. Some back and forth here, but I think the buyers should be winning here. The seller should be getting squeezed over here. Sellers are getting squeezed. Yesterday on LE, we took a break even. Today, we'll at least get 10 ticks on 2 contracts, which is not bad. But if we can get to a 41 tick target, sorry, that would be awesome. That would be awesome. I think the likelihood of that happening is, I think we have the probability of hitting a target before we hit a stop here is very high. I like those odds. All right, we're seeing more buying here in the indices. Again, there's some hesitation here to go higher, but I think eventually we should crack this stop here on ES. Just at 53, 54. It's a matter of time we move higher here. Now we may revisit 45 before we move higher on ES. So that's something to keep in mind. And Q here is kind of ranging around the VWAP. But again, above 48, above 48 here, we should go higher on NQ. Okay, we got above 48. Let's see how we reacts. Yeah. Essentially 48. My stop on the NQ is typically 15 points, which is 60 ticks at least, very minimum. So I'll still be in this trade here at stop would be at 33. So, I mean, if you're scalping the NQ here, you definitely take your first target. At some point, you're up 8 points. 8, 9 points. So, well, not LE is definitely looking like he wants to attack or stop right here. If it does, yeah, obviously we'll be out of the trade. But if not, now if you're somebody like me, usually when I'm trading ES or NQ, I mean ES I tend to scalp a little more, but NQ I like those big moves. So I'd probably be maybe not even at break even. Now a new high, I would move to break even. A new high at 62, 63 here, 63. I'd move at break even because I'd be up 15 ticks. I'm sorry, 15 points about. So then if you're up 60 ticks here, you can definitely let this baby run. I think 99 it could be another a place to go to take your target here. This one definitely be at break even from 38, 49. So above 48 would go long. So what's the low on this candle? I wonder. Boom, it was exactly 49. So if you go long at 49, you move your stop too early, they come back and tag you out, and then they're going your way. I think for me personally, this is me speaking. It's one of the most frustrating things in trading when you were right and you move your stop prematurely, and then they come back and tag you, and then they go your way. Because a lot of times you do not want to get back in because at that point you feel like, okay, am I trading because of my plan or am I trading because of revenge trading? I'm trying to get back at the market. And whenever we get into that frame of mind, I'm trying to get back at the market, it's probably time to just shut off your computer. It's time to just shut off your computer and not trading anymore. After this move up here, if you move your stop to 49, yeah, you survived that. Again, that's a 50-point move at least here. Or at least a 40-point move, which is 160 ticks. But trading is so personal. You gotta decide how you want to manage your trade, how you want to go about it. Because some people, hey, whenever they see low profit, they're gonna take it. Somebody like me, hey, I know typically what they do. They don't go up or down in a straight line. They're gonna come back and probe, and you gotta give it some room to move, especially if you're trying to capture a good amount of ticks. So right now we go off to the races here. Like I said, 990 could be a place to try to take your profit if you're long NQ. Because that was a nice pivot up there. Or they may just blow past it. So again, they're probing to the downside here, but it's people taking their profit, people trying to sell, people scalping. But they'll get run over if they don't get out of the way. And if they get out of the way, if you sold here, that means to get out of your sell, you gotta be buying. So you're gonna put more fuel to the fire, to the rocket, So still bullish here. Gonna step away for 1 minute from my desk here. All right, I'm back. Right in time for NQ to hit about 990. Almost there. We got to. The NQ got to 89.75, so we definitely hit the 990 right now. So we're going for a round number, which is 20,000. Now at 20,000, we're probably gonna see some pushback here. Most likely. It's a pretty significant number. I could count on LE on live cattle here is red. There you go. We're above 20,000 NQ. Pretty significant number. We made a new high on ES. And then, yeah, new high for the day. So again, this at 20,000, you're gonna see some pushback. If you're long, you didn't take your profit there. Now you're probably like, wow, what did I do? And knowing NQ, because this was such a significant number, they may come back all the way down to the VWAP. This is about 950. Or they may not, They may keep going. The momentum is pretty strong at the moment, so yeah. Because ES was so volatile on my other screen here, on my regular computer, I traded a little bit of MES in full transparency. So that's I took a couple, maybe 2 or 3 trades on that on MES, and that's being copied to different accounts. So I'll probably in my recap mention that, but on screen here, that's not something I did. Actually, it's from my regular computer, so that's why you can't see it here on my VPS. I think I can move this. I think I should be able to move this over to this screen because I'm sharing the whole screen. So yeah, I think I can see it. Let me see if I can see it over here. Oh, okay, I can see it on my OBS. So this is what I did so far on one account, MES, trading just MES, because the market was a little rougher. But this definitely got a few ticks on MES here. But the bigger thing we're trying to catch here is that LE trade. Yeah, after a big candle like this on ES, we should expect some pullback here. You can expect about 5650 would be an area between 5650 and 5645. We should see some kind of pushback here again. 20,000 is a pretty significant number here on NQ. So we got the high today for ES. We should expect some kind of pushback. So knowing when a pullback is most likely to happen, it's really important. We're not predictors, but we're ready to react on certain things when they're happening at certain places in the market. If you had an order, you had 20,000 to short the NQ. I mean, right now you're up about 17, 18 points. I would never put an order to short it, just to short it here. But after this reaction happened here and the retest in the negative bar, then I could feel more comfortable selling at about 96, 97 here. And if you did that, you're up significantly. Or once we get to 20,000, another way to look at it, you may not even have to enter the trade to benefit from knowing that information. At that point, you can say, hey, I'm not going to be buying here. Because most likely there will be a pullback. I don't want to sell, but I definitely don't want to be buying here. Now we're approaching this level here at 209, 12 and a half in the middle here with LE. I think it's safe to say we can capture a few more ticks here above this wick at 65. So essentially right now we're looking at, I think we capture 65 to that. That's maybe 17 ticks, 15 ticks. At least, yeah, about 15 ticks. So can we get another 25 ticks here to the downside? Not 25 ticks, what am I talking about? 25 quarter of a point, which is 10 ticks. If we can get 10 ticks to the downside, that would be great. So less than 10 ticks because we're trying to capture 41 ticks and we're up about 30. Yeah, we're up about 34 ticks right now. It's like 7 more ticks, I think. Yeah. If my math serves me well, yeah. So, yeah, that ranging here on ES and NQ here is definitely understandable. People are catching their breath after this big move up. And people are realizing, hey, you know, do I want to short this or I don't know. I think we're definitely going, I think for the rest of the day here, the direction could be higher. All right, we're getting close to this target. We're getting very close to it. Let's see if we can get it here. All right. Got about 3 more ticks here. 3 more. Oh, we got within 1 tick of it. Oh, you know what? I think I'm trying to catch more than 41 ticks. Let's go back to here. This is what I wanted to do. Maybe, yeah. We get to 2. We'll get to 209.05. We got about 3 more ticks here. We'll catch. The target should get hit. Let's see here. Let's see if we can get that going. Let's lower our stop here. I mean, I don't want to put it too close either. There you go. We got to our target. There you go. Target got hit. Again, can we go lower? Yeah, we can definitely go lower here. But we got our goal for the day, which was about 41 ticks. We got that. Now we're going higher here. Again, remember this. We said this was going to be a pullback here on ES. Not something that really we could sell it, but knowing, hey, this is a pullback, it's just a counter trend trade. I'm not gonna hold too long for it. Now we're really pushing higher on NQ. Same thing probably YM here. Wow, look at this. They're gonna close the gap. They're gonna close the gap here. You know, they're pushing lower here in LE. Well, it's 10:36. It's real early, but at the same time, we kind of hit our goals for the day here. We're gonna wrap up the stream on YouTube. Definitely, you know, we have a collaboration with Tramper.com. If you go to Tramper.com in the community link and click on the room, you can come into to a private room where you can see this stream with no delay. Because here on YouTube, there's I think I have the ultra fast connection. I have it set up ultra fast, so it's probably 2 or 3 seconds delay. But if you look at that, thanks Noah. Thanks for the support on YouTube. So yeah, so we're gonna end the stream here on YouTube. We'll continue the conversation here in the private room on WebEx. Again, Trimper.com. Click on community, the first link, which would be the trading room. So we're there from 9 a.m. to usually 12. Well, they closed that gap. They're closing the gap. They closed the gap. So we should expect a bounce here too on LE. LE can bounce over here. So just know that. That doesn't mean it's gonna happen, but that could be something that happened here. But with that said, I'm gonna end the stream, and you guys have a good one. God bless. Take care. Tomorrow, be careful. Tomorrow it's gonna be non-farm payroll. I think last time we had non-farm payroll, maybe a couple of non-farm payrolls ago, I did in a room at 8:30. Between 8:15, I think I started the room around non-farm payroll time. But tomorrow, I think we're gonna keep it just regular time, 9 o'clock. Non-farm payroll, that's something I look at and see how the market react to it. But that's not something I'm gonna be trading. With that said, have a good one. God bless. Take care. Bye-bye. See you guys tomorrow.